Hey, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be doing a first impressions video on Triple D gel liquids with dip application. So if you have seen my video before on gel comparison, I'll put it up in the cards if you haven't. Oh, let me tell you first, I'm going to be using Haute by Revel and Jumanji by Triple D. Super pretty colors. One's a really pretty nude and the other is this beautiful sparkly rose gold. Okay, so first of all, I am going to be going through and doing kind of just a first impressions, not a comparison like my first video, but this will give you a lot of information similar to that. This is the brush on the Virgo and Gem. I'm going to be comparing to Virgo and Gem because that has been my favorite. So you noticed that the brush on the Virgo and Gem is one of those thin clear ones, and it's a little bit stiffer than this black one from Triple D. This one is super soft and it fans out a lot. For me, it doesn't give quite as much control as the thinner, but brushes are very much a personal preference thing. Okay, so I am notorious for putting way too much product on my very first pink finger, which is usually my pinky. So I'm not going to count this one. It turned out fine, but I generally don't count my pinky just because I always do that with, it doesn't matter what liquid I use. So moving on to the second finger, it's definitely a thin liquid. Like I said, it doesn't give me as much control as the Virgo and Gem, but honestly, I think that's just the brush type. It has nothing to do with the liquid itself. So I don't know that I would necessarily say that control is a problem with this particular liquid. It's just going to be a preference for the brush. So I'm applying a coat of this Haute, I believe it's called. I tried to pronounce it hot and I was like, that can't be right. So I looked it up and it is Haute. So, I started off by doing my usual lay flat, and then I figured, you know what, I haven't shown how it works with the pour over method or the spoon over method. So I have these little tasting spoons and I'm going to use that for pouring over these particular liquids. I always pat down my powders after. I am not curing in between. That also is going to be a personal preference thing. Sometimes I will flash cure. This finger, I actually got quite a bit of flooding near my cuticle, and that's probably just because I just got too much product on my brush, and honestly, I think that's going to be a just getting used to the liquids kind of a thing. I did end up having to, I'll go into that later. Hold on. Let me just keep going. So I'm spooning here over each nail, the Haute, and I pat down. This is my normal MO. I do this pretty much on everything. And then I take my water marbling tool and I run it around the edge and I clean all of that up. Now, the Triple D bottles say to cure for 60 seconds. In comparison, it's only 30 seconds for the Virgo and Gem. But honestly, you could probably, for just the different layers, you could probably get away with 30 seconds of cure time. But I did what the bottle said, and I cured for 60 seconds. And then I brush off with my stiff brush. And I go in for a second coat on this one. That is a really pretty color. I like this nude. It's actually really pretty. That is just over one coat. So here's my second coat. I'm going to spoon over, and I'm being very careful to make sure that I don't miss any spots. Let me think. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I need to tell you. So Triple D is based in Las Vegas. She is a one-woman show, Dodie Smith, and she comes out with some really, really great products. So I was super excited to try her liquids. Like I said, I'm going in for my second coat, and I think it's this finger. It might be the next one, but the powder really soaked into the gel, and I ended up having to, is it this one? Nope, it must be the next one. Or was it the last one and I missed it? I don't know. I'm a little off today. I don't know why. Okay, we'll just keep talking. So I'm spooning. So she's based in Las Vegas. She's a one-woman show. She does it all on her own. So her packaging is beautiful. Her attention to detail is beautiful. The powders I have tried in the past so far have been nice and soft, and her glitters are super gorgeous. I actually have her Diva box coming. It's out for delivery today. So the January Diva box is coming, and I'm super excited to try that. And I will do a video within the next couple of days for that, to give you some first impressions. I did need to spoon over a second time on one because her liquids really soaked it up. Oh, let me tell you about this. I am Corgi's Wine and Nails did this mani, and oh my gosh, it was so pretty. So that's what this mani is basically inspired from, and I will put her Instagram and her YouTube video, I will link those down below in my description box. She didn't do a video on this particular mani, so I'm not sure the technique that she used. So I am going through and I am just kind of, rather than doing like a color blocking, I am just sort of doing it kind of more like I would do a French mani, only I'm doing it on an angle. It does kind of leave a little bit of a bump, but that's okay. I found it was a little tricky getting my finger in to the jar, so I wanted to get it more down the side of my nail without getting too much on the tip. So I put it into a cupcake liner, and there, I really liked that. So I'm going to pat that down, and I'm actually going to flash cure in between each one of these because I don't want to screw up my lines. But this color, oh my gosh, it's got hollow, and it is rose gold, and it is just gorgeous. Yeah, I'm always staring at my nails with this on, just because this color is just so pretty. And that's the kind of powders you're gonna get from Triple D. She really has some gorgeous, gorgeous colors. I also have another order coming on Wednesday this week, just for a few more powders because there were a couple I really, really wanted. Anyway, so I'm going to go through with each one of these fingers, and then I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to make those lines. And because this is a glitter, and glitter can get everywhere, I'm going to have to go in with my little cuticle pusher orange wood stick and straighten these lines out a little bit. And that's one of the things I really love about the gel method, is you have as much time as you want and need to be able to just refine everything about how your powders go on. And so I played with that a little bit, and I put it in the lamp and flash cured it a little. And so we're going to do this with each one of these nails. I did say that I'm doing a first impressions, and I actually have a few other brands that I'm going to be trying out. I'm not sure how quickly I'll get these first impressions out because I'm actually wanting to see how they wear as well a little bit. And I'll get into that for this one later on when we get to talking about top coat and such. But I have a few other brands that I want to try. I know that I had request to try Double Dipped and Madame Glam, so those are on my list to be trying shortly. I haven't tried them yet, but I have them, so I will be trying those. I also have, let me see if I can remember, I have liquids from Vivadips, Panda Dips, and Aisle 21, and I will be trying those as well. I'm not, like I said, I'm not quite sure how soon those will be coming out. Just kind of depends on when I can get to it, but I want to mix these first impressions videos in with other types of videos too, so we're not just doing the same thing over and over. So if there are any other dip liquids you want me to try, I have 9 different brands in my comparison, my gel comparison video. That's up in the cards. And my feelings on any of those really haven't changed. But I also haven't really worked with many of them in the past. So I went ahead and did my right hand with Virgo and Gem. I completed it 100% top coat and all. So now I think I skipped it. I didn't show you what I did, but I encapsulated with builder gel. I think I lost that part of the video for some reason. I'm not quite sure. But I encapsulated because I have glitter. I wanted to make sure that I wasn't going to ruin my glitter too much when I filed. So I used builder gel for that because that's my typical MO, and I don't have Triple D's builder gel, and I will probably get some at some point to try it, but I have so much builder gel right now that I just can't justify the expense at the moment. But I do want to try it because I hear her builder gel in a pot is really good. So right now I'm going in with gel base, and I'm doing that because I filed. And I want to make sure that my top coat has something to adhere to. So I'm just going to put my gel base on all my fingers, and I'm going to cure that. And I'm sure over the course of this video, I have already not finished a bunch of sentences. So I don't know why I do that. I get distracted. Squirrel. So if there are any things that I didn't finish, please feel free to ask me to finish that sentence. I'm showing you here, I actually had some flooding, so when I went to file that down and get my shape right, I missed. I actually had to file a little bit of that off. And then I'm showing you here, there were a bunch of fingers where I had too much that flooded up into the cuticle area. And so all I did was take my water marble tool and break that up a little bit and just kind of scrape it off. It was not hard. It was really easy, but then I did end up filing off a little bit because that side just flooded a little bit much. Honestly, I think that's probably something that can be avoided with practice. I think the reason that I had trouble with that was just because I'm so used to Virgo and Gem. And this did work a little bit differently, and I just need to get used to the fact that the brush is bigger and it fans out more and it holds more product. And so I just need to be careful to have less product on my brush so that I don't flood so much. And otherwise, okay, so this is my right hand. So this is the shine on my Virgo and Gem. Now I'm going to put the gel top coat on for Triple D. This is the very first time I've ever opened this bottle. Oh, I wanted to show you this. I have so many types of gel liquids that I write the curing time on the bottom of the bottles. And that way I don't have to try and use my fallible brain to remember what the suggested cure times for each company is. And honestly, even though the company suggests a cure time, it might be different depending on the strength of your lamp. My lamp is 120 watts, so I have absolutely no trouble curing anything, even dark. But sometimes I do double cure with the darks just to make sure that I'm getting it nice and cured all the way through, just because it takes a little bit longer to penetrate through those dark colors. But anyway, you need at least a 48 watt bulb, or lamp, I should say. LED, UV. The LED will cure faster than a plain UV. So it's good to have the LED just so that you're not sitting there hanging out for too long. Okay, so I'm finishing up this thumb and all my fingers, and I'm going to throw that, check it out, throw it in the lamp 60 seconds, and I'm comparing. So here's my thoughts. The shine on the Triple D top coat is insane. I don't know what I'm talking about here. My hands go a little crazy. I talk about my hands. Blah, I can't talk. I talk with my hands a lot, and I have no idea why my hand keeps spazzing out. But, so my thoughts on Triple D. I still love my Virgo and Gem. I always will. I usually do 3 coats with my Virgo and Gem, and if I ever stop moving my hands, you'll be able to see that the 2 coats I did exactly like the Triple D hand. I can see through it a little bit. There's still some sheerness, but the 2 coats with the Triple D was not thick, but you cannot see my natural nail underneath at all, the smile line or anything, but you can with the Virgo and Gem. And so I would still probably need to do a 3rd coat with the Virgo and Gem, but I don't feel the need to do that with Triple D. I probably could. It would thicken it up a little bit, but it's not needed. So I think with the 3 coats of Virgo and Gem versus 2 coats of Triple D, and they would be pretty similar both in thickness and opacity. I am using my cuticle skincare cuticle oil, because that's an important step. You want to make sure that you rehydrate those nails. But my final thoughts on Triple D, these are excellent, and they're just as good as Virgo and Gem. The shine, I think, is my favorite. I think it's my new favorite top coat. I really I feel like it's bulletproof. It lasted. They both lasted, but the shine never faded even a week later. I finally took them off after 7 days, and the shine was still just as shiny as it was the first day. So I think if you wanted to try these liquids, you will not be disappointed at all. What am I doing with my hands there? What the heck? What am I keep pointing at? What do I keep talking? I don't know what I'm saying. Honestly, why? What am I spazzing out? Okay, thanks for watching. I hope you like this video. Give me a comment. See y'all later. Bye.